You're welcome to my YouTube channel once again. We'll be going through session 2 today, and before then I want you to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you share it with your friends and also share it on the various platforms so they can also benefit from it. So as already said, in session 2 it talks about the source of what reading techniques or method of what reading, the how do you call it, the SQ3R. So SQ3R, yes, the SQ3R method, and then the rest. So these are the topics we will be discussing today. And there are so many sources of reading. Some you can, some read, some just get, I mean, they read through what libraries, the recommended textbooks, and what have you. These are the sources of what reading. So they may use, some students may use what the library, what catalogs, which includes what online catalogs and what have you, and then the recommended textbooks, okay, which includes what textbooks, journals, articles, reports, magazines, newspapers, online materials, and what have you. So these are what the sources of what reading. Now we are coming to look at the various reading techniques. Mostly people read for information. That is the main purpose for reading, but others also read for fun. Some read just to broaden their horizons. Some just read just to get some, to better their vocabularies and what have you. All these things are what the purpose or the reasons why people what do read. But we are coming to look at the various methodologies or the reading what techniques. These are the things we'll be focusing on today. The reading techniques. We are coming to look at the various reading techniques. You see that some people, you use yourself as an example. Sometimes when you are reading, when you take a book or your slides, you read some definitions, you leave some, you go and read certain topics, and then you are done. You get it. Some of you too, when you are reading, you just be glancing through it. You don't read all the words, so you just look for certain key words just to find that thing in your book. And some of you too, when you are reading, you open your eyes, you read everything, you ask yourself questions, you come back, you ask yourself questions, close the book, ask yourself questions, try to memorize whatever that you read or recollect whatever that you read. And then some of you too, after reading, you go through the various recommended textbooks, you go online to do research, read something related to the topic that you read just to get more understanding about it. And I advise that if you're a social scientist or a social science student, like political science, sociology, psychology, economics, and what have you, if you're a social science student, you have to do extensive reading, and that is where you go outside your slides to read. Most reason why some of us are not really progressing academically is that we don't want to read outside our slides. We only focus on our slides, but remember that the slide is just like it's just like a format, okay, just like the skeletal system. It doesn't actually break the topics into detail. So those of you who have been relying on the slides, I am advising you, say Jay is advising you to read outside your slides. You get the modules or get some books. There's a certain website that you can download a lot of books there. When you go there are so many sociology books there that you don't even need to buy. There are so many academic writing books there that you need not to buy. It is called pdfdrive.com, www.pdfdrive.com. When you go to this website, we have millions of books there. Any book that you want to download, you can get it. You can get political science books, sociology, information studies, business administration books. Just get them and read them to broaden your understanding. Do you get it? So that is just by the way. So now let's come back to business. So the reading skills, we have 4 reading method or 4 reading techniques, and these are what? The skimming method, scanning method, open close reading method, and then extensive reading. So we'll take them one after the other, try to digest them and get a clear understanding. So when you see someone reading, or if you take a book and you are reading, you know the kind of method that you are using. Some of you don't have time for your book. The moment you open the book, you take a book now. The first thing you go and do is you just go and check page 90, the last page. Hey, this one day page 500. If you are such type of student, you are a lazy student. Say says you are a lazy student, and you need to repent from it, because it doesn't help. You just forget about it and read it as if you are not reading. The time you realize you are done. But you say you always go and you be paying attention to the last page. That is our habit as black men. Our reading habits are very poor. We don't like reading. So one white man says something that if you want to hide something, from the black man, just hide it in a book, because they know we don't like reading. So probably when they hide it in a book, you may not be able to read it. Now let's look at skimming. What is skimming? What is skimming? As I already said, I explained this 4 method to you in my introductory session. As I was saying, some just read to locate certain topics or certain features or certain definitions, and then they are done. Some just also read just to just pay attention to certain information, pay critical attention to everything they read. Some go outside their slides and stuff. So when you talk of skimming, it's a quick reading that allows you to make up your mind about a piece of text, book, or journal. Okay, so that one, the person just brush through it just to get a fair idea about the book, the text, or the journal. That is all about the skimming. So the skimming, it gives you what we call a gist. Okay, gives you a gist. Okay, Yvonne Nelson's book that she released recently, people are talking about it too, and they are mention of a specific a chapter or a specific page. They are talking about someone's name. So you get it. So when you try to just locate only that information, that was what we called skimming. That's what we called skimming. So for skimming, it is a strategic. It's a strategic and selective reading method. It is strategic, and pay attention to this one. Selective. You don't read everything. A selective reading method, in which you focus on the main ideas of the text. The main ideas. When you talk of the main ideas, I will explain what the main ideas means to you. The main ideas, when you talk of the main ideas, we are talking about the titles, the titles and subtitles, the table of content, the forward, and then forward, preface, and copyright page. These are the whole thing. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, the main ideas of the text. The main ideas of the text. So, in skimming, sometimes when you are reading, you see that you go and read a table of content. Okay, you go and read a table of content, and you have some fair idea about whatever book. Especially, I'm using Yvonne Nelson's book as a reference point. People mostly, after hearing about it now, most of us, when we want to know more about the book, the first thing we read is the table of content. Is that not it? You go and read, okay, my relationship with Sarkodie, my marital life, my encounter with Nana Akufo-Addo. At the end of the day, you know that this is what the person is trying to talk about, and that will give you more energy to go further, or to read the various subtopics, or read the whole book. You get it? So the table of content really what matters. The titles and subtitles. So after reading about the main the subject matter, you go through the title, the subtitles, the preface, the copyright page. Okay. At the end of the day, if someone asks you something about the book, you'll be able to tell the person that, oh, this book is about this, because Yvonne Nelson was talking about his relationship with Sarkodie. It means that she has gotten something to do with Sarkodie before. She also spoke about some artists in Nigeria, Tonto Dike, and Tonto Dike's name was mentioned in the book. So many people, popular artists were mentioned in the book. So at the end of the day, you have a gist of the book. You have a fair idea about the book, and this is what we call This is what we call skimming. Okay, that's what we call skimming. And as I said, the in skimming a book, the reader does not read the entire material. He or she reads selected parts of the material to get an overview of the information. This is all about skimming. You don't read the entire book. What we need in a book, oh, this one there, yes, yes, and that is what you want to. That's what you want to see. So if you don't see the pregnancy, there's no way you be what you finish with that, or you leave the book like that. You try as much as possible to dig more into the book to find where Yvonne Nelson had that affair with Sarkodie. Okay, Yvonne Nelson even made mention that she got Sarkodie impregnated her in 2010. Okay, you just try to locate the year. So the skimming is what we are talking about. And then the next one is scanning. So the next topic is the next one to focus on is scanning. So when you talk of scanning means a quick reading that allows you to locate information that you need. It allows you to locate information that you need. That is all about scanning. So scanning is a quick method of reading aimed at locating specific information, such as definition or explanation of terminology, date of an event, meaning of an expression, spelling of a word. So that is it. For this one to you focus on certain things, especially the spellings, the topics under the books and what have you. That's what we call the scanning. Date of the event. Okay, in this year, this happened this year. But the difference between the scanning and skimming is that for skimming, the reader just read the table of content. You can only read the table of content and you summarize, or you gotten an idea about the book. It's about just getting a gist of the book. But this one, for the scanning, if you want to scan a book, you have to pay attention to certain things. Those things that you have to pay attention, the definitions, some terms, some expressions, and what have you. You get it? So at the end of the day, when they tell you, you'll be able to tell people that this book, it stresses on these things. You get it? That is all about the scanning. So in scanning, looking up the definition or spelling of the word in the dictionary, finding a date on a calendar, finding an address in an address book, finding a phone number in a telephone dictionary. or could what be described as what scanning, since it aims at what locating specific information. So when you are doing that, since you see sometimes you want to just get some date, some telephone number from a certain book or certain journal, so you go through it, and then at the end of the day you get whatever that you want. So when you are doing this, we call it what scanning. You've heard about some Bible verse, but you don't know the kind of the chapter that it is in. You know that it is in James, but you don't know the verse. So you read through the whole chapter. You know that it is in chapter 3, but you don't know the verse. So you go through it. You don't read everything, but just to find that topic that you want. That is what we call what scanning. Or you are looking for some certain keywords in the Bible. Okay, homosexuality. They said Bible talks about homosexuality, but I don't really know where it is. So you glance through certain books, just what books in the Bible, just what to locate what homosexuality means. So when you do that, that's what we call what scanning. So we are scanning the book to find out a specific information you need. So we do that also in textbooks and some other materials. One can use the index pages to facilitate scanning. So that is all about scanning. Now our next method of reading, or our next technique is what close reading. We are talking about close reading. So for close reading, it is very important. If you are a university student, you shouldn't be doing scanning and skimming. That's why sometimes most of us learn and say, oh, with this book there, I've learned it, but I still don't understand it, because you only go and scan, you only go and skim. You don't pay attention to certain details. Some of you, right after reading, if we ask you questions about the whole topic, right, you can't tell. You've read the book, but you don't really understand whatever that you are reading. No answer will do anything, and I'm telling you, in academic writing, you are coming to write comprehensions. They will give you comprehensions for you to summarize them, and then they are coming to write essays and stuff. So if you don't pay attention to whatever that you read, my brother, my sister, what failure we. So if you want to read and understand whatever that you're reading, you shouldn't be doing any of the two that I explained to you, the scanning and the skimming. These ones, we use them to find information in a book, a journal, or whatever article that you've been given. But if you want to read and understand, you want to read the Bible. That's mostly, like I say, that people read the Bible like the way they are reading the book, their books, their textbooks, or and he thinking he can explain the Bible with his own understanding. It's not like that. If you want to read some books, especially like the Bible, and understand it, you need to pay attention. Take your time and read everything. Sit down, ask yourself, ponder over it, and ask God, oh, this one that you are talking about, what does it mean? You get it? The God himself will give you an understanding. The same way, if you want to read a certain book and understand it, you need to read it, pay critical understanding. Pay critical attention to it. You need to pay attention to whatever that you're reading. I'm explaining the open reading to you. Do you get it? The close reading to you. We are doing the close reading. Pay critical critical attention to it. Pay critical attention to whatever that you're reading. When you read to some paragraphs or pages, you need to pause and ask yourself, okay, what is this paragraph talking about? What is this page talking about? You ask yourself questions, and you try to recollect whatever that you are asking. Okay, page 1, can I even read it without going through the book? In some books or in some topics, you can't just do a mere reading and you say that you are okay with that. Some of the courses, I'm telling you this, we have been through the university, I know what is involved. Some of the lecturers expect you to write everything detail for them. Courses like sociology, I am a sociology student, so I know what I'm talking about. They want you to write everything detail for them. Courses like political science. Political science even is not like that, but at least you need to write. You need to, when you are writing, you need to bring certain concept in it. Sociology, if you want to write sociology and pass well, you need to bring sociological terms, incorporate sociological terms in your essay. That's what makes sociology different from English. If not, it's the same, because whatever that you are writing is the same thing that you see around your community or wherever that you are. But what will make it your essay a sociological essay is what you is the sociological terms that you incorporate in your essay. That what make it what a sociological, or that will make it what a sociology, yeah, that will make it sociology. So mostly, if you want to read and pass well, you need to also read Baba. If there's a need to do that, and it will help you. You know, when you do the Baba, it's not just the Baba, but try to understand it before you do the Baba. So I'm giving you these free tips, and you are following me, and you go and write critical thinking. Sorry, I know I taught critical thinking last semester, so I know I sorry, forgive me. Academic writing. You think if you are following me and you go and write academic writing and get a low mark, it's your own problem. Follow me and go and write sociology, information studies. In a course like information studies, I've done this information studies before, so I know what I'm talking about. For information studies, they don't expect much from you. Just be brief. Just, if it is information management, what is information management? If information management is about, okay, organization of information, just write organization of information. For them, they don't want you to explain further. But sociology, political science, they want you to explain further. And in order to explain further, you need to go more. But when we get there, you get more understanding. But so when you talk of the how do you call it? The close reading. Close reading is what? Is thoughtful. Critical analysis what? Close reading is what? Thoughtful. Critical analysis of a text that focuses on significant details or patterns in order to develop a deep, precise understanding of what? The text form, style, and what? Meaning. Close reading is a skill that requires students to determine purpose and notice features and language used by the author, so they can think or attentively and what will method method methodologically, okay, methodically, sorry about that, okay. And that is all about the open the close reading. So you do that, you pay attention, and also what? Think methodically, okay. That is all about the close reading. Now let's look at our next topic, the close reading. So I said the close reading. Let's look at the features. So before then, let's look at the features, or what constitute close reading. So with close reading, the reader ought observe facts and details about the text. Okay, so there are some facts, you observe it. We don't just read like that, but when you are reading, you observe certain facts and figures, and also interpret the observed details. You try to interpret it. What is the person trying to mean, or what is he trying to say? So you try to interpret it, and you notice some features about the text. Okay, annotate items by what? Highlighting the underlining. Okay, and you ask question about it. That is all about. It's all about close reading. That's all about close what? Reading. Now, now that we are done with close reading, let's look at extensive what? Reading. Extensive. For extensive reading, it is what? Employed to where there is what? The need to what? Broaden your understanding of what? The word. So extensive reading You do not what limit your material, okay, with the subject or the course that have been given to you. You don't limit yourself to only the slides. You go beyond your slides. You look for certain books, and that's why I said when you go to www.pdfdrive.com, you get certain books that you read. Some courses like sociology, political science, you have to do extensive reading. You don't read what is only in the slides. So some of you just read the slides. They give you some concept like how do you call it? Dramaturgical approach, and you what is dramaturgical approach, or what is I mean social fact. You are reading what is in the slide, you don't get it, and you don't want to do research. If you're in university, one of the features of academic, or one of the importance of academic writing is what? Research. So you need to do more research. Most of us are writing, or we are failing because we fail to do research. So you need to do more research. Go to the internet. Everything is in the internet. The books, some of the slides, they copied it from the internet. I'm telling you the fact. If you are doing research, you get to know that most of them, they copied from some books from the internet. The lecturers, they do research before they write the book. So why don't you also do research? So that is all about the extensive reading. Now let's look at this. There's a certain method that I want us to look at. That's our last topic. Our last topic, that is what? SQ3R. SQ3R. So some people, the day I posted this question on the page, some people were asking me, what is SQ3R? You know it, but you don't want to read, so that's why you're finding it difficult. So the SQ3R is S represent what? Survey. Q represent questions. The 3R is what? That is what? Which means that's three. The 3R means what? Reading, recitation or recite, and then the last one is review. Read, recite, and what? Review. That is the 3R we are talking about. So the SQ3R is what I've already explained to you. So we'll look at the SQ3R. So we will look at what a survey means, what reading means, what questions means, recitation and stuff. So that is all about. So now, when we talk of survey, we are looking at survey. Quickly, let's look at the survey. So quickly skim the information you are about to read by looking over the headings and subheadings in the chapter to see the few central points that will be developed. Then you read the summary paragraph. If the chapter has one, this survey should take a minute or two. It will review the central ideas in the chapter and will help you organize those ideas. So with the survey, like I said, so when you want to survey, you look at certain things. You read through the summary paragraph, the chapters, just to get more ideas about it. So that is all about. So in the survey, when you talk of survey simply means what? Review, to review something. So you review the tests that have been given to you. And then here you read the title, the introduction, the summary. Notice the boldface heading, the subheading. You notice every graphics, charts, maps, diagrams, and so on and so forth. And that is it. So you notice reading, and that is what? Italics. You notice reading 8, which is italics, boldface, print chapter, and then what? Objective and objective. So that is all about survey. So for surveying, in order to survey a test, you need to to do all these things. You need to pay attention to italics, the subtopics, the bold fees, and all those stuff. That is all about the survey. Now, let's look at the questions. So when you talk of questions, another word for question is what? Interrogation. So when you talk of question, so for one, you turn the first heading into what? A question. So when you read the first heading, you turn it into question. Okay, Sarkodie asked me to abort my pregnancy because he wasn't financially stable. So after reading this one, you can ask yourself question. Okay, so why would Sarkodie do such a thing? Do you get it? You know, you read, when you read, don't just read, you ask questions about it. And that's what it is. So right after reading, you need to ask questions. After reading, you need to ask questions. Surveying everything, you need to what? Ask questions. Okay, so turn the first heading into question that has what? Been answered. And it what? Bring to mind information that you already know, and will also help you in understanding that, and it also help you to understand the that section more quickly. Okay, the question will also make points in the section stand out because they will be important in the answer to the question. So mostly when you do that, you try your best to what? Ask questions. So you ask question when reading and turn heading and subheadings into what? Question. Okay, I am not Yvonne Nelson. Why is Yvonne Nelson saying I'm not Yvonne Nelson? Okay, so if after that you try to find answers to it, and it will help you in reading well. Okay, if you don't get the answer, I don't think you stop reading. You get it. So that is all about the question. And then the next, so we are done with the S and then the Q. So it has left with the 3R, which is what? The recite, read, and what? Review. So let's look at the reading. We've already done reading, so I won't spend much time here. In reading, you read the section under the first heading in order to what? Answer the question. Beware that you are making an active search for the information. So in reading, you use what? You use the close reading method. If I say close reading method, you read everything and you pay attention to everything that you read. You ask questions about it. Okay, so that is all about reading. You employ close reading to the text and pay attention to every detail, including punctuation, meaning of certain words. Okay, that is all about it. So you try your best to do that, and it is going to what? Help you a lot. And then the next one, now we are done with 1R, so it has left with 2R, which is what? Recite. When you talk of recite, it comes from the word recitation. I think Muslims will understand this better when it's time for them to pray. They go there and you see they recite, they do some recitation. Allah Akbar, those kind of words they do, they call it what? Recitation. They have it in mind. They've learned them and it is in their mind. So one thing that most students fail to do is what? To keep whatever that they read or whatever they learn in their mind, and only a problem, no. If you want to do, let me teach you a quick recitation method. So person which be bye good tuma. We are talking about something like let me give you something. Okay, we are talking about purpose of what? Data. Purpose of what? Data. And you want to keep it in mind that me, when I was in ACHS, I know Chibaba Crown, Chibaba and Chemi. So I will start purpose of data, purpose of data, purpose of data, purpose of data, to keep even that heading first. So after that, I know that yes, I've already kept the topic in mind. Then I go, okay, point 1, to record activities or situations. To record activities or situation. If I realize it is too long for me, okay, purpose of data 1, record activities, to record activities, to record activities. Then I later come back and say or situations. I say this one now about 20 or 10 times. So I already have to record activities, and also I have another one, which is what, or situation. So it has now left with one thing to what, combine the two. Okay, purpose of what, data is what, to record activities or situation, to record activities. So that one too, I recite it about 20 times or 10 times. It is already in my mind. So next time when I get there, it won't be difficult for me to record activities or situations. And then I go. If I realize it is in my mind and I can recite it without going through the book, then I take another one. Okay, to attempt to capture the true picture of what, a real event, to attempt to capture a true picture of a real event. If I realize it is too big, it's either I divide it into 2 or 3. So I recite the first part, recite the second part, recite the third part, and combine it together. If you want to recite certain things, that's how you go about it. You use this method, and it is very easy. So now that you've read the first session, you put your book aside and try to answer briefly the questions you asked earlier. Use your own words and try to give example. If you do so, then you have what, learn the material. If you cannot, look over the session again. A good way is to jot down some key phrases, perhaps in an outline form or a sheet of what, paper. So if you are finding it difficult to keep it, you write certain key points. Okay, one an example, that the purpose of data, I know that, okay, record activities, that one is a key point. So if I remember, or I go through my slides and see record activities, I'll be able to say it. So that is it. And then the last one is what, review. So in review, when you finish the chapter, glance over your notes to get an overview of the points and their relationship to another. Check your memory of the content by stating the points under every heading. Do this by covering the notes and trying to recall the headings. Then undercover each heading and try to recall the points listed under it. That is all about the review. So you try, after reading, you try to go through whatever, and as I say, so this is where you use the relearn, and then the unlearn method. So whatever that you've learned, you learn the good things, you have to relearn. You don't read and leave the book like that. Some of you, since the beginning of the semester, you've not even read anything. Hey, if you do that, it will affect you. You have to read. By this time, you should even cover almost 70% of your slides, because you've started IEs already. So that is it. I am Johnson Praize, and please do well to share this one for me. Kindly do well to share it. Don't leave without sharing it. Share it with your friends, and it's going to be a blessing to you. God bless you. See you in my next video. We'll focus on session 3. So I will try our best by next week. We'll get to some place. So my intention is to make academic writing easier for you. If you don't understand anything, you can come to my DM. My number is 0545 412017. So God bless you all. Thank you.